When drawing a portrait, it's important to follow a clear and effective process. First, we need to get a good grasp of the overall shape of the subject. To do this, we start by using simple straight lines to outline the key features of the form. At this stage, we focus on comparing things like the lengths and widths of different lines, their proportions to each other, the angles of the lines, and especially the important points, usually where lines intersect or change direction. In short, we're using basic lines to block in the big shapes of the portrait first. To be more specific, when we're sketching the basic horizontal structure of the head, we usually start from top to bottom. The top of the head, the hairline, the bottom of the nose, and the chin line. There are also lines connecting the corners of the eyes and the corners of the mouth. Vertically, we look at the center line running from the space between the eyebrows down to the bottom of the nose and then to the center of the chin. Don't forget the contour lines on both sides of the face. Pay special attention to where the cheek curves and where the jawline changes direction. Those turning points are important. Getting the position and angles of these key lines right is crucial because they define the basic structure of the portrait. If these proportions or angles are off, it will lead to fundamental mistakes, making it very difficult to move on to more detailed work later. Once we've blocked in the general structure, we move on to the next step, drawing the facial features. Start with the 5 main features: eyebrows, eyes, nose, mouth, and ears. At this point, you only need to outline their basic shapes. No need to dive into the small details yet. It's important to compare the features with each other and look at them as a whole. Try not to get too focused on one detail and forget about the overall balance. Also, sketch the general shape of the hair, hairstyle, neck, and other parts of the head and shoulders. Next, we get into more detailed rendering, especially focusing on texture and form. As you refine the shapes, begin to show the texture of the subject using your brush or pencil. For example, the texture of the eyebrows. One of the most important and also most challenging parts is capturing the texture of the eyes. Pay close attention to the placement of the pupils, the shape of the eyelids, and how the shadows fall around the eyes. The same goes for the nose, lips, ears, and other features. Highlight the details and texture carefully. Hair texture is also important. Show the flow and volume of the hairstyle, and feel free to simplify or exaggerate a bit to suit your artistic style. Add a bit of shading to the cheeks and facial skin to give the portrait more depth. Finally, step back and look at the whole picture. Based on the final effect you're aiming for, make some last adjustments, emphasize some parts, simplify others, and fix any mistakes.